Welcome to the Research Podcast. I'm Judy, and today we're going to be discussing a research paper on the use of smartphone photography as a method for improving mental health. With me in the studio today, I have Laura and Larry.
I'm Laura Brunt, and I'm looking forward to talking about this research and the potential it has for helping people improve their mental health.
Thanks for inviting me today. I'm Larry Hope. I have some concerns about this study, and I look forward to discussing these with you.
Great! Let's dive right in. So, can you guys give us a summary of the main points of the paper?
Sure, the main goal of the study was to explore the use of smartphone photography as a tool for capturing positive memories and events in people's daily lives, and to enable reflection on those events through photos. The researchers wanted to see if this could be a more accessible method for positive psychology interventions, especially for younger, tech-savvy smartphone users who might not be as interested in traditional writing-based approaches.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary. But I have some concerns about the methodology and the limitations of the study.
Okay, let's get into that. Larry, what are your main critiques of the paper?
Well, for one thing, the sample size was quite small, with only 25 participants. That's not a very large group to draw conclusions from. And the study only lasted for a period of 8 weeks, which might not be long enough to see any lasting effect.
That's true, but I think it's important to note that this was a pilot study, and the main goal was to explore the feasibility and potential of using smartphone photography as a positive psychology intervention. It's certainly not a definitive study, but it does provide some promising initial results that could be further explored in larger, longer-term studies.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Laura. So, what were the main findings of the study?
The results showed that there were weak but significant correlations between the amount of photos taken and the spread of categories of photos, and improved mood. In other words, people who took more photos and spread them out across different categories of positive moments or actions had a more positive mood.
That's interesting, but I think it's important to consider the possibility of reverse causality. It's possible that people who are already in a good mood might be more likely to take more photos and spread them out across different categories. It's hard to say for sure without more robust controls in place.
That's definitely a possibility, Larry. But I think the study does a good job of controlling for other factors that could affect the results, such as the time of day the photos were taken and the overall number of entries made. And the researchers also used a validated measure of mood as their ground truth, so I think the results are still worth considering.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's some potential here. So, what are the next steps for this research?
Well, I think it would be interesting to see if these results hold up in larger, longer-term studies. It would also be helpful to explore the use of smartphone photography in different populations and see if it has similar effects on mental health.
I agree. It would be interesting to see if these results can be replicated in a larger study. And it would also be helpful to examine any potential mechanisms behind the effects that were observed, such as the role of reflection and the emotional content of the photo.
Yeah, those are all great points. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you to Larry and Laura for joining me, and thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode of the Research Podcast. Until then, have a great day!